Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tea Time. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. I just got done having a fantastic podcast with Trudy over here. I almost opened my Arizona Iced Tea.
So did I.
But it's still closed. So cheers to Arizona Iced Tea and cheers to Tea Time.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to open this.
You guys didn't hear that tsk because I cheated that by accident. You want me to open it or are you good?
There we go.
Fruit punch.
Iced tea with lemon flavor.
I wasn't really a fruit punch type of guy, but then I saw my friend had it like a whole liter in his fridge, and I needed something to drink. And yeah,
I just really like the original. I think it's so good. I seriously don't think I've ever had any other flavor. I always get this can. Always.
That's wild. Oops. You need to start exploring. Adam, real quick, tune in. How was your Arizona? Have you had that flavor before?
I have not. I'm currently on the black and white Arizona.
That's my personal favorite.
It's honestly not bad. It's not as sweet, but it's perfect.
That's what I said. I was like, I don't know, man. Some people like they don't want the sweetness. This is very sweet. Like this is an acquired taste. So thanks for tuning in.
I love iced tea.
Everyone, thank you for being here. You know, Tea Time, not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. We had a fantastic conversation in the Middleman Podcast. I wanted to bring over some conversation from that, which, you know, from our previous meeting and talks, you know, you mentioned religion and ancient religion and some ideas. So I went ahead and I did some research on some of these ideas and
Hit me.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with it. But hold on, I spreaded it out because I'm terrible with words. Oh, okay. Ancient religion, pantheism, the belief the whole universe is God and everything in it.
Yes.
Okay, so the belief in that the whole universe is God and everything in it. How do you feel about that? Would you identify yourself as pantheism?
Pantheist. Yeah.
Pantheist.
So
Okay.
I would 100%. Yeah. That's what I am. I'm a pantheist 100%. So I'll just give you like a little backstory on how like I kind of came to that because I actually used to be super religious when I was like younger.
Okay.
I grew up religious. Multiple religions. Well, two different ones. And then after the second one, I was always a very like inquisitive child. I loved, reading and books and like history and, just why and how things are.
What the heck? Oh, I know why I did that. Okay, disregard that.
Okay, we're good?
Yeah, we're good. I know why I did that.
No, so, yeah. Basically, right, after kind of like the second religion, which was Christianity, that I was in I was confused. I was very confused. I was like, hold on, because I had been in a different religion before, and it was a different Bible. It was a different like setting. It wasn't just church Sundays. It was church Wednesdays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then like with Christianity, it was just Sunday. The Bible was different. The teachings were different. The community was different. So I was just very, very confused. And I used to say that I was an atheist. I used to, it was just easy to say like, I just don't believe in anything. I don't believe in God. As I got older, obviously, because I did Bible studies. So like every Saturday, Bible studies, right? With like the first religion that I was in. So my mom and I would like, take walks. She would take this like book that has all the stories from the Bible. We used to read from there. So it was very intertwined with my life. So it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to just be like, like there's nothing. Like it was all a lie. It just never felt right. It still like I don't think it ever will. So I got into like science. Really deeply. So like quantum mechanics, string theory, parallel universes, black holes, all of that stuff.
You would love the Mandela catalog.
All of that stuff. So in my dive through that, I wanted to know, like, what's the smallest thing, in the world? It's an atom. We all know that now. It's an atom. But even once you look closer, like, into the atom, it's the electron and, like, the neutron, right? Mm-hmm. And then everything else is just empty space. There's this one story I like to tell. I tell it to my boyfriend. He's probably so tired of hearing it. But when I was in elementary school, I remember sitting at my desk, and it was math class. I'd never been good at math. I hate math. If I was good at math, I would be in space right now. I would be an astronaut, but I'm not. So I was sitting at my desk, and like I was looking over at another desk, and I'm just like, that's all just like atoms just vibrating. You know what I mean? Like really, realistically, like really, like
yeah,
when
like
we get
staying
to the,
solid and together.
yeah, when we get to the fundamental of things, all this table is really just a bunch of atoms packed tightly together and all just vibrating, and that is creating the table, because everything is made out of atoms once you break it down to its last and final structure. And that was my thought process in elementary school. So you can imagine kind of how that developed. So, after that, and looking at how like quantum mechanics works, because there's like the micro and the macro, right? But the whole kind of confusion in string theory is when you place like the physics of how things work in like the micro to the macro, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work.
Would you
know what
mind
I mean?
explaining string theory?
I would not be able to explain. Well, not that I just physically, I just wouldn't even know like how to even, okay. So basically, right, they think that, down in like the micro universe, like string theory, there's strings, there's strings that go in a circle. Honestly, that's all I can tell you right now.
That's fine. I'm gonna Google it.
Perfect. So yeah, that'll be great.
Do your own research. It'd be like, oh, I don't know. Google it. Okay.
It's just super hard to like explain.
No, I get it. Okay, yeah, no, she's not lying. It is a bunch of circles.
It is very, yeah, like really that's his best. Like it's so hard because you would have to go into like everything.
Yeah.
But then that's what like got me closer to religion, surprisingly.
This is nuts.
Yeah, it really is. It is insane. Like when I even try of thinking to like explain it, like it is insane. But that's what got me into religion, because we're all made out of the same thing fundamentally. And it's all the same energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. So where does it go? And Earth is a closed system. You know what I mean? Like it all just gets recycled. So that lined up to a lot of the same ideas that, like Buddhism was saying and pantheism was saying. So that's what I chose to subscribe to. That really like uplifted my faith. And when I say God is everything, like, when I say I believe in God, it's because also I do still like to be in touch with my Christianity side of things. I don't know. That's just something that feels right to me. So I do still, think that like praying is good and you know what I mean and all of that stuff. But when it comes to like truly like what I believe, the trees, the air, like this brick, this table, you know what I mean? It's all a manifestation of God, of God's energy. The conversation that we're having right now, actually in Hinduism, I'm pretty sure they have this thing where like they think that God is just playing like hide and seek with them, right? So like let's say we're having this conversation and you would ask me, oh well, like have you met God? And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm talking to him right now. That's how they see God. They see God in everything.
Yeah, because all right, so like Wu-Tang Saga, I believe the Jizza is a Buddhist. Just in their lingo. So God, hey God, so God. It just goddess, God, so God. Anything like that, and that's very it's interesting, it's cool. The universe is God. I like how you mentioned that Earth is enclosed, right? And that we have energy, and our energy just keeps getting recycled. Never thought about that. Crazy theory, crazy thought. You really thought about that. I like that.
Every night.
Every night before you go to
hurts my
bed,
head.
it's like, all right, is this it? So that's really great. And I think that when you have a different, like, I could see that. I could see the belief in pantheism. I could. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
I believe I am.
pantheism,
Okay.
yeah.
Because the universe is God, right? I believe we were talking about sonars earlier. Sonars,
Mhm.
I would use the term aura.
Yeah.
Is what I would use, right? You can see an aura, right? People say that they get claimed that they can see a color,
Mhm.
Off of someone. And that is it mystical? Is it, witchcraft or whatever the case may be? No, I don't think that's it. I think that the universe is very much so alive, that these things do happen because it was meant to happen this way, and I'm the same way with the God aspect because I had a Christian belief when I was younger. Like, I went to Sunday school once. It was awful. I hated it. But no, like, I will sit here and say Jesus Christ, Lord
Yeah.
and Savior. But at the same time, I like to think about the science aspect of it.
Yeah, I will say I do not subscribe to this might get a little topical, but
I like subscribe. I like that term.
I do not subscribe to the Jesus aspect of it.
Okay.
That's not me saying that I don't believe like the history of it. If maybe he was alive, maybe he wasn't. I just that to me that's like not necessarily giving in, but locking myself in with Christianity. Because even the story of like Noah and the Ark, you know that story.
Uh-huh.
So in the Sumerian religion, that was thousands of years before, they have a flood story. Noah and the Ark was not the first flood story. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's really hard for me to kind of take my relationship with religion in a linear aspect, because I'm also learning about it in like a historical way. You know what I mean? And how did civilizations like kind of come up with it? So it's, to me, everyone kind of has their own ideas. Everyone kind of puts these energies into whatever deities they wanted to, you know what I mean? But that energy of God overall, that energy of the one creator has always been around. So that's why I guess for me it's more comfortable to say that I'm a pantheist. Although like I do still take away from my Christianity beliefs for sure, 100%. But the one thing that unfortunately just hasn't sat well with me, and I do feel some type of guilt about it too, because I grew up. Yeah, I grew up with it. But one thing I unfortunately do not subscribe to is Jesus. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Still love you, God.
I'm sure no one, I'm hope no one takes offense to that.
It's just my personal belief.
Exactly,
that's all.
exactly. That's all it is. And I appreciate your insight and just a thought of that. Like I said, opening eyes with the whole universe aspect. Like I'm a big believer in the universe. I'm a big believer in that it is alive, bro. This shit is alive. Doppelgangers are a scary thought for some reason, like an extremely scary thought. And I think that has to do with the show that my engineer has put me onto. It's fucked up, okay? It's called the Mandela Catalog, okay? And I'm going to just let you guys know that if you're going to watch this, it's fictional, but it seems real for some reason. And it's on YouTube, and it's meant to terrify the shit out of yourself. Like, it's meant to scare you. And I didn't think that's what it was going to be, because you think about Mandela, you thought about the Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect, yes.
Nothing. Nothing like that. Honestly, the best way I would compare it to is what was that? Oh, the Twilight Zone. But like the Twilight Zone, like rated R. But the characters and the eeriness and the ambiance of it is terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's like, it says like best watched with your headphones in and the lights off. I'd be like, damn.
Not
be like,
me.
nah. I watched it on break in daytime, and I was like, nah, this is effed up. And that's what I want to tell you about that. It's just like, check it out, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm definitely open to that. Yeah.
It's like, it's one of those weird universe things. Like, you thought about past lives, probably different dimensions with the circles. You know,
different dimensions. I love it.
Different you, different me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, if we really good, like okay, so there's this one thing that I always say. I heard it in one of the books or videos maybe that I read, and it just has always stuck with me. Nothing is impossible. Everything that you have thought about and could think about has already happened or will happen. You know what I mean? At some point in time, whether we're aware of it or not. You know what I mean? Because there's quite literally endless possibilities in the universe. So yeah, everything that you could have thought of or whatever the case is, it has happened or will happen. So I don't know. I'm a very open-minded person. I think anything is possible. You know, even like the crazy things of, I truly believe that there is multiple dimensions. You know, even one where everything is exactly the same, but your hair is light brown. Everything is exactly the same, but maybe you don't get as tan as you do in this universe. You know what I mean? And that's because every single choice that we take, even right now, like even if right now I were to choose to like take a sip or not, that affects something. You know what I mean? As small as it is, the butterfly effect. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
It's hard to think about. It's hard to think about like something as small as taking a sip of something is like could be as catastrophic as, you know, grabbing something like a picture or whatever. It really is the butterfly effect. It's really intense. But before we get off of tea time here, I showed you this photo during the Middleman podcast, and I think we can have some fun with it. I will tell you guys what it is on the backside. It does tell you what it is. But just looking at this photo, try to create a context or context of what's going on there. We're going to overlay it on the screen for you guys so you see what's going on. And we'll run with it, right? Because I think podcasters, in a sense, are journalists and we are storytellers. And I think that this is a fun activity to see how you would tell a story or how we would tell a story together about this character and what the heck is going on here.
Okay. Well, the first thing I would do is set the plot. So this actually, I'm gonna take a guess, and I know how the picture looks, but I'm gonna say this is like maybe right after COVID, like the months or maybe even a year after COVID. And obviously a gym. I'm gonna say that. I don't even know.
Who do you think he's yelling at?
I think it's a victory yell.
Yeah, victory yell?
I think it's definitely a victory yell. I think he's like, yeah, like I just did that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I
like your I like how you picked up the COVID, because I didn't pick that up, but I know the photo and I know what you're looking at, and that's really cool. That's a good point. It is a wrestling ring. Mm-hmm. It's a wrestling ring. That's where they're at. They're in a wrestling ring. He's yelling. I don't know. We're gonna name him
Fred.
Fred?
Yeah, I like Fred. Hey, Fred. Okay,
so what do you think Fred's gonna? What's Fred gonna go do after that victory? You know, I don't trust those two behind him. I think those two, and it does look like a wrestling background. I think those two would betray him. And if you watch WWE, come on, how many times? Come on.
I actually haven't watched WWE.
It's okay. That's fine.
No, I mean, yeah, that's great for the plot, isn't it? If they do betray him, that's great for the storyline.
Like, what if it was like a triple?
You know what?
Match? Yeah.
I think so this is my story. So I think he just won, right?
Fred.
I think So actually, no, he couldn't have just won because he has jeans on. Actually, 1 second. I'm rethinking my story now.
So Tony was a man from the crowd who jumped into the arena.
I was just going to say that. I was literally just going to say that. I'm like, no, he's not the wrestler. He was a person there that jumped in. I was literally just going to say that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So
he's getting on his motorcycle, though, after that and going somewhere. I don't know where.
I like that. The big drum roll, okay, as to what this photo really is. This photo is a photo of Andy Williams, the butcher. I Googled him, and he is a wrestler as well as a guitarist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's like a rock star and he's a wrestler. And yeah, I guess this is a wrestling match. Or maybe they were having a concert. Who knows?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You know, I got this photo on the first Friday walking around. And
I love First Friday.
it was someone's thing, like a photographer took this photo.
Yeah,
And this is what we got.
that's nice.
And that was a great story. I think we
Yeah.
did fantastic there. But with that being said, we're going to end tea time here. Cheers to Arizona. Cheers to tea time. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. It's a big sip. I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez. This is Trudy. Thank you all for watching.